And I'm here with Tammy, and we're here to discuss
hockey with
hockey.
my son.
Okay. Is he in hockey?
He's in hockey.
Okay.
Yeah. Did I say that out loud? Yeah, I hate it. We're already really, really busy, and I love the fact that he loves hockey, but it's a huge commitment. And the fact that the volunteering in the concession stand really isn't volunteering. It's mandatory. So it's creating some issues for me, simply because I can use that hour I'm supposed to be watching him play hockey. Shh, don't say that. I could actually spend that hour actually studying or doing homework in the stands instead of having to be customer service and serving you things. So I have an issue with that and some other things with hockey. It's my baby. He's 6, and some of the other kids on the hockey team are a bit bullyish, and they will sit and punch his helmet or go and take their hockey stick and hit him with the hockey stick on his helmet or try and trip him or up in the short area.
Yeah.
And I don't like that, and it's just and it just really bothers me, and I don't really know how to approach that.
Do you feel that the coaches aren't doing anything to
Well, you've got I think they have almost 30 players, and they had to split it into 2 teams, and they've only got really like 4 or 5 coaches on the ice to that many kids. So it's really hard for them to catch everything that's going on when they're trying to instruct other hockey players. So they're definitely missing some stuff there, and it's easy for the parents to see because we're watching our kids, so we're more able to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And so it's really hard to kind of let them know that, hey, because it's just part of the hockey life, or if it's just me being a bubble parent kind of thing. So it's, I don't know.
So from what you're saying, it's difficult just to differentiate between the two because you want to be that parent and support them, but you also want to make sure that he's okay.
Yeah. Because safety is a huge thing.
Yeah.
And that could go to a completely different conversation if I go there, so I won't go there. But safety for all the players, not just my son. And the organization is supposed to be very safety oriented. And I know there's going to be times when the kids trip each other by accident, and they're going to go hit the boards, or they're going to trip over each other and get that skate in the head or whatever. Those are things that you can't control, and it's part of the game.
Yeah.
But when kids are intentionally going and hitting each other and stuff like that, that's where my concern comes into place. And there's a lot of policies that we had to go through. One meeting was very mandatory that you had to go to. You had to read all of the paperwork, and you had to sign all the paperwork. And then we had like several other little meetings to go over the policies of the organization and the safety practices. So of course the no back checking and the safety of the kids on the ice, making sure they have their helmets on, proper gear, and but at the same time, it also mentioned no bullying and no roughhousing on the ice, and no cameras in the change rooms, no phones in the change rooms for safety purposes as well, which I saw actually one of the coaches in a game in the change room pull out while everybody was changing into their gear, pull out his phone and take pictures, and that's actually against policy. So I'm having a really hard time with the policy in action.
And the follow through for it.
The follow through of actually being aware that it is happening and actually how to approach the head coach on it, because he wasn't actually at that game, he had to work. So some of the other coaches for the team were there.
Filling in for him.
And so I think they took the liberty of him not being there, because he seems to be very much a policy. I want the kids to go out and have fun, but I want it to be safe, and I want to protect the kids in the change room at the same time. So he definitely wants to follow those policies. So I think if he had been there, there's no way that the one coach would have put his phone. And I think if he was able to have, 20 sets of eyes on all of the kids at all the time, then we wouldn't be seeing some of the roughhousing. And some of these kids are big. Like, I mean, my little guy he still looks like he's 5, he's 6. And there's some, he's junior novice, so they're from 5 to 7. And some of these kids look they're like 9, 10, they're big. And there's one that's really, really a bully. He's been really going after my little guy a lot, just shoving him and pushing him around and yanking him out of the lineup where Aiden's going where he was told to go, and then he's got this kid coming along and pushing him and saying, "Get out of here." So it, there's just a lot of things that I'm not a hockey mom, apparently.
Well, it sounds like you are. You're like any typical parent, and when it comes to hockey, any sport, you're concerned about what's happening and just how to address the situation, because it's difficult. Like, you don't want to seem like that nagging mom who's constantly.
No, I don't want to be the bubble mom.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you also want to make sure he's taken care of.
I in theory I could go and do all the coaching and get all the certification and go on the ice with him. But we don't. That doesn't look pretty.
No.
It's very bad having me on skates. I don't know how to stop, so I hit the boards. And I would have to be in full hockey gear, because I don't do well. I can skate, but not well. These guys skate so much better than me. Like, it's amazing. These little guys, how they skate. But I would like to be out there, but I don't want to embarrass my son or the other kids going like, "Really? What are you doing? Get off the ice, lady." But it's just, I don't know how to approach the head coach and say, "Hey, this is what I'm noticing, and I'm really not digging it." And I'm not a confrontational person. Not that I have to do it in an aggressive manner, but just bringing an issue up for me is I'm very uncomfortable with it, unless I get really pissed off, and then I got no problem saying something. But I'm still trying to get the feel of what this hockey thing is, and how everybody navigates it, because there's some parents out there are really demanding of their players, and get that puck, get that goal, skate faster.
Yeah.
And all we're saying to our son is, you need to listen to the coach, make sure you know what you're doing, and go have fun. Like, you know, we don't sit with the other parents. Rich can't really get up the stalls because of his leg, but, you know, we're so like, just go out and have fun, but make sure you listen to the coach and do what the coach is asking you, so you're not, you know, wasting anybody's time, kind of thing.
Reiterating that it's a team sport and to make you
know, and he really is liking it, and I'm just like, you know, not so much. It's expensive as well, but I mean, we can manage that, but it's just the time and really worrying about him getting hurt.
Yeah.
And I guess that's nuts. I mean, he's a hockey fan. Montreal Canadiens, woohoo! And I'm like, hockey season, I'm gonna go hibernate. You know, so I guess I'm just having a hard time navigating it.
Yeah.
I think is what it is.
It sounds like it's just a comfort for you. You need to feel comfortable with it, and maybe right now, because of how young he is, it's scary just to have to deal with.
Yeah, and there's background on that too.
Yeah.
That makes it a little bit harder in worrying about him getting hurt. And like I said, that's a whole lot of conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to start that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it's that fear of him getting injured and really badly, which hockey can.
Yeah.
I mean, concussions are a huge thing in hockey.
Yeah.
And, you know, broken things. I can handle a broken arm. I can't handle a concussion. Kind of thing for him. You know, anything to do with the head kind of freaks me out.
Yeah.
You know, and I know my kid's tough, but I've had enough medical stuff with him. I just don't want to.
You don't
do
need
more.
to add to
I don't want to do
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
So really, in that instance, I'm definitely a bubble mom. If I could put him in a bubble, physically in a bubble, and bounce him around and let him do his things, I'd be good.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing that is going to hurt him. But I can't do that realistically. I think that might actually be against the law. Wrapping him up in bubble wrap.
I don't know about that, but I mean, you give it a try.
But you know, it wouldn't be good for him. Like, I mean, he's got to learn how to you know, fall, so to speak.
Yeah.
And get back up and problem solve and do all of these things. And I'm gotta just be supportive and bite my tongue.
It sounds like you know what needs to happen, and it's just getting to that point because, again, he's young and just giving him time to adjust and to learn.
Yeah, I mean, he's fast, he's a good skater, but it's just like some of these kids are big. You know, and it just needs to have a wrong head. And him going to those boards the wrong way.
Yeah.
And, you know, so, you know, I love that he loves the game and he's so enthusiastic about it. It's not a fight to get him into his gear and stuff like it was for soccer. But it's also a lot more dangerous. And yeah, so, you know, there's just a couple of issues that I definitely know that I'm struggling with, and just have to suck it up. Put the big girl panty on. You know.
Okay, so for our 15-minute session, it looks like we're almost done here. So from our conversation, I feel like you are happy that your son's in hockey and that he enjoys it, but you're concerned with his safety and just how other kids treat him, and your approach on how to discuss this with his coach without being that the overprotective mom.
Yeah, that's pretty much sums it up. In a nutshell. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we're good, Erin.